What's up YouTube, it's FitzBro and we are back with another build order tutorial video for the Delhi Sultanate. Now this build order is going to feature a rush to take the sacred sites in the feudal age. It is one of the civilization bonuses and something you should really lead into with Delhi. Now I was able to rise over 100 rank positions last night during my stream, and I made it into the top 100 with this build. So while many people have said that Delhi is not a very strong civilization, I would like to disagree. People just don't know what they're doing with them, and hopefully you will be able to take this build order to the ladder and gain plenty of rank for yourself. I am going to provide a build order graphic, which will be somewhere on the screen, that you will be able to follow along with. This is available in the Discord. The link is down in the description, and you can download it, put it up on a second monitor, and follow along while you're playing, watching this video, or whatever it may be. Let me know what you think about it and if it's successful for you. As always, if you like my build orders, consider subscribing to the channel and head on over when I'm live on Twitch. I'm probably live this evening, and let me know what you think. Okay, guys, let's get into the build. Now, before we start with this build order, make sure you pull up the guide on another monitor and memorize the first few steps. There's a lot you have to do at the beginning of the game, and you don't want to be trying to read and complete these steps at the exact same time. Go in against computer just like I am right now, and you hit restart several times and practice just doing this opening. It is probably the most important part of getting started successfully with this build. Okay, let's give it a try. So the very first thing you want to do is get a villager in queue, grab all your villagers, and build a mill next to the berries. I'm going to pull off one villager to build the mosque and one villager to build my lumber camp. Now, you see I used hotkeys for all of those. Go back and check out my grid hotkey videos. They'll help you with executing that with a little more ease. Okay, there we go. I'm splitting my villagers between the berries because it does make a difference on their gather rate. Okay, new villager will go to wood, actually. So I'll have 2 on wood. This villager is going to build a house after this. Now, tech-wise, I like to get survival techniques first, followed by wheelbarrow. Here, I'm going to get Sanctity first. And Sanctity allows me to capture those sacred sites in the second age. It is very key to get this tech early on. Okay, now I've got a new villager going to food, so I'm going to have a total of 6 villagers on food, and the next one will go to gold. After Sanctity, I like to get efficient production, which allows you to garrison your scholar inside a mosque and increase the production rate by 100%, which is really great. And then over here at the lumber camp, you want to get forestry. Now, if I wasn't talking, I might have queued a few of these techs up a little faster, but it's really important you just queue them up as fast as possible. He's actually going to mine a little bit of gold before you have a lumber camp, and then you want to grab him and place that mining camp as soon as you have that 50 wood. So I will do a manual drop off here, actually. There we go. And I'm going to put that villager to food because I want to have 8 villagers on food. There we go. Once I have 8 villagers on food, all new ones will go to gold. So far, pretty happy with this opening here. So this will be my 8th villager on food. You can see down here how the split is if you're curious. Now, you see how I'm splitting my villagers between the berry bushes? It does make them gather more efficiently so they're not bumping into each other walking around the berries. Okay, there we go. I have 8 on food, 2 on wood, and now all my new villagers for now will be going to gold. If you've made it this far, we're just about at the 2-minute mark. You're off to a great start. This is that's the most micro-intensive parts of this build order. So I would just go back and practice just that part several times. Feel free to back this video up and just listen to it again because it's really fast and frankly really hard for me to narrate while executing. So now we got villagers going to gold, and I'm just going to wait until I have enough resources to age up. Now, with your scout, you need to be purposeful to go out and find where those sacred sites are. This map has 3 of them. Now, since I didn't spawn in an enemy opponent here, it might spawn a little bit weird locations. But try to, in general, figure out where all the sacred sites are on the different maps. So, going out there with the scout, going to find the sacred site because I will be sending my scholar off to that as we get close to the next age. We're almost at the amount of res we need to age up. Now, the reason why I'm staying on wood is because we want to get some spearmen out early to protect our scholars that we're going to be taking out to take these sacred sites. And there we go. I'm going to take 4 from gold and make the Dome of Faith. Leave 1 on gold during that. So 4 of my gold builders are building my landmark. Sometimes I'll pull food vills and go to wood. So I'm going to grab 2 right now and go to wood. So you can leave like 4 to 6 villagers on food. Now, these sacred sites are a little further than they would usually be since I didn't spawn an opponent in this game. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and build a house with this new villager. All new villagers will go to wood now. You're not going to need to really be gathering much gold once you get your initial few scholars because those sacred sites are going to generate that gold for you. Okay, so we're well on our way here. All new villagers are going to wood, and I'm going to be thinking about getting a barracks down as soon as I can next. I've got my house built. A lot of times I'll just use this actually 1 gold villager to build my house just so I can keep all of my wood villagers continuing to gather. Now, one nice thing about Delhi being on berries early on is any sheep you collect are nice to fall back to. If you get early enemy pressure, you can just pull back and gather from the sheep. Now, you see, I'm building my racks to the front of my base because I want to be as close to these sacred sites as I can as far as walking distance, but I want it to be within the influence of my mosque. So I actually pulled one of my food villagers to build this, in fact. You can pull your wood, but I like to keep gathering plenty of wood because I'm going to be needing it. Okay, after they are done with this, they are going to go to wood. And I will leave I'll put a total of 2 villagers on food. Okay, so this is almost done. You can see my sanctity is just finished researching. I'm actually going to start sending my scholar towards the first sacred site. Now, I usually try to pick one that I know is going to be safe because it could be a little bit tricky. I'm going to drop my house just preemptively, and I'm going to queue up some spearmen. Don't get the upgrade first. Now, what you can do, if you really know your enemy's out there with a lot of scouts, like maybe against the Rus, is delay this by just a few seconds until you get 1 or 2 spearmen out. You can actually get spearmen out a little bit faster if you get that barracks down a little bit ahead of schedule. Okay, so I've got plenty on wood. I'm going to start putting villagers back on food. I'm even going to put them on sheep so they don't have to walk as far. Now, you see we have a wolf dealing some damage to our scholar. This is a common situation, but your scholar will be okay, especially with spearmen behind, as long as you take them out. You can actually even completely capture a sacred site before that wolf would even kill your scholar. Here comes my second one. Now, the idea here is the second you ping this first sacred site, it's going to make this big sound. And it would have been doing it already if I wasn't walking this far. And your enemy's going to hear that, and he's going to react. He doesn't want you to have the sacred site, and he's going to come out and try to stop you. And while he's bringing all of his attention over here, I'm bringing my next scholar over to another one that's far away that he'll have to turn around and react to. Now, I've been busy talking, so you can see I've overgathered a lot of wood here. This would not be typically what I would be doing. But you would be throwing down the second barracks a little bit sooner than this and be already pumping out spearmen on the field to protect this. Now, as I start to get this protected, I like to take and build a wall around it, which is a good thing to do with the extra wood that you've been gathering. And there you go. You see we have this one. I'm going to start moving to my next sacred site, but keep this scholar protected. If I know my enemy has a lot of units out on the field, I am going to maybe be a little more careful, or I might even pull my scholar off to go to hide in the corner for a little bit. Now, you saw I just queued up my technologies. They're free with the Delhi Sultanate, but I was busy talking through this. You want to queue up these techs the second you hit the second age. Okay, we have our second barracks in queue. I usually will start the tech with one of them. And now at this point, what I usually like to do is go stable, because they're going to see my spearmen. They know I have spearmen. They can actually see you through the fog of war standing here. And so since I have spearmen, you assume enemies probably going with archers. And you can react to that by going with cavalry. So you'll have cav to counter his archers out on the field. And you see here, I'm going to have all 3 of these sacred sites. I'm going to pull these guys off of gold because I am not going to need any more gold. We're about to be flush with resources. I'm even going to make an extra one of these in advance. And just like that, look here. This is the crux of the whole build. You've got 3 sacred sites bringing in the gold. Look how much gold. I could even be close to age up right now as far as gold is concerned if I wanted to. You are mass producing spearmen. You can put down 2 stables and start producing out 2 times horsemen. And then actually what I like to do at just about this time is throw down the market. Now, I'm not going to be doing traders, though you can if you want. I'm going to be using this market to trade the gold to produce a big enough army to protect my sacred sites. Now, he's probably going to push you off 1 or maybe 2 of them. It's okay. He's out here messing around with your sacred sites versus raiding you back at home. Now, with my new villagers, I can put them inside the mosque to increase the production speed, or I can put them inside the stable once I have efficient production done, and I can very, very quickly produce some some horsemen. And I'll show you the difference here. Let me go ahead and garrison one of these. Now, from this point, you can do whatever you want. You can trade up and keep producing more units here in the second age. You could decide you're going to age up. You can try to buy your next age. It's kind of up to you. That opening is the most important part of this, and you'll find if you go back and watch my VODs and my previous Twitch streams, I kind of improvise from this point. Okay, here we go. I'm going to queue these up at the same time. Okay, 2 horsemen are queued up. I'm going to put 1 here in this right, and look at the difference. This is going to take 6 seconds to come out. This one's going to take more than double that. So look how quickly you can get double the amount, well, exactly double to be precise, of the horsemen if you garrison these scholars inside your production buildings. So that's why you want to get the ability to take the sacred sites followed by the efficient production in that order. Now, if you don't think your enemy is going with archers and maybe he's going spearmen, maybe you want to drop an archer range. You can actually even afford with this build often to have all 3 military buildings. You're going to be really flush with income, and you can even come over here and trade up as you want to keep your production, because you're not going to need that gold if you want to just fight in the second age. Okay, that is most of the build. Obviously, there were a few little moments in there where I was given some explanation where I would have queued up my text a little earlier, been walling, maybe fighting the enemy, but that's the general idea, and that should get you to where you need to be. If you want to see some examples of me doing this in action, check out my previous YouTube video I posted with the Delhi Sultanate, or head on over to twitch.tv/FitzBro and check out my VODs. I was trying this strat every game on my last stream, and probably will be for a few more streams here in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the Discord. Make sure you grab this build order for yourself, and I will see you in the next one.